Hi, and welcome to video number 3 of Cloud Training 101 with Laserfiche, brought to you by ECS Imaging, your world-class solution provider. The previous two videos that we discussed before this one was the 101 for the repository overview, as well as the dashboard and home screen. So those are two videos you want to check out if you want to know a little bit more about those. This video is going to get into how to upload documents, how to export them, create folders, scan, name the documents, and also use direct share. So those things were referenced before. This is where we're going to address them. So we'll start by talking about how you can create content. So if your administrator has given you a full license, that means you may or may not have the ability to add content. It just depends on what the restrictions are. But if you are, and you are somebody who's going to be uploading, this is definitely the video for you. So I'm going to start over here in the test folder just because I want to make sure I don't mess up our own repository here. And so I'll create a new folder. I can click the button here, or I can right click in the columns area. So I'm going to create a new folder. We'll call that test 2 because that's a creative name, right? And so there you see it, it created the folder. You could also do the same thing here and create the folder there. You'll see as well that when I clicked on new, you have a couple of other things that you can create new. You can create a new Word document, a PowerPoint presentation, Excel, and even a blank document. So what's nice about how Laserfiche integrates with Microsoft 365 is right here. And so you'll see that you can create it right within Laserfiche. But we're not going to go into that too much in detail. If you have any questions, you can absolutely reach out to us or your account rep, and they'll give you a little bit more of details on that. So now that we have that folder created, we're ready to upload some documents. And there's a couple of ways that you can do that. You can drag and drop. You can also select this import icon right here on the right hand side. And what this gives you the ability to do is you can drag files here, or you can browse the folders and you can select a document, open that document up, and it'll tell you, of course, that it's ready to bring in. You'll click OK. And now you have the ability to look at the general information, where it's going, and if you need to assign it a template, you can do that here. And then, of course, once you select that template, you can fill the fields in. And then you can even add a geolocation. You'll notice I clicked this little icon up here. The normal view makes it a little small to see sometimes. So when you click this one, you can expand the view, and that way you can preview the document that you're looking at. Pretty nice, right? And so you'll see here, because of the way that Laserfiche works with Microsoft, it has the Word information right here. And it looks like a Word document when you're putting it in. It's kind of nice. So I don't have anything to add template-wise. So I'm going to go ahead and minimize my view here and complete the importing. If you don't want to see a preview of the document, you can always hide the preview. I kind of like to have it on just so I can see what it looks like. And then I'm going to go ahead and import it. And that's it. As simple as that. Another option is the drag and drop option. So a lot of people have records in a share file sometimes, and they just want to drag and drop those files in. And so you can do that just by simply dragging and dropping. And then what's nice about this one is I'll show you a sample of how you can fill out the template information. So I am going to select a template, and we'll do the accounting one because this one is, in fact, something for accounting. You'll see that we have a couple of things marked here, the generate text and generate pages. When you generate text, it's going to give you the ability to have an OCR or optical character recognition, read the document so that you have that text and it's searchable later. When you generate pages, this allows you to go in and it creates a TIFF image that you can, of course, put redactions and highlights or anything on top of when you use it in Laserfiche. Because TIFF is native to Laserfiche, that's why you have that ability. And it's kind of a nice feature, especially if you want to redact a document later. Just because we generate pages, though, it doesn't mean that it eliminates it as a PDF. You can always export it and it can be converted into a PDF file. You'll see also on the bottom, you do have the ability to choose different languages. So if you are working with multiple languages, it can even OCR the text in those languages as well. And then once you have something selected, you can save it as a default, and then you can upload the document. So see, this is where that preview or show the full screen comes in handy, because now we can look at the template fields and complete those as we're previewing the document. So we can get the company name. So we can fill this out here, Smith and Associates. So you'll see, and then we can get the PO number, and then an invoice number if we see one. This one's pretty easy, it's 101. We'll put a space bar. So if you select a space bar, it'll actually put the date in. You can also come over here and configure a token. So it'll automatically put the date in. And then, of course, the parent field or a file. So, but we can always type it in also. So if you wanted to put in today's date, you could as well. So we'll just put that date there, the amount due. And then, of course, there's some other fields that we don't need to fill out. So now I'm ready to import this, and I'm going to go ahead and minimize this and go ahead and import that. And as simple as that, you're all done. And then, of course, it gives you your entry ID information. You can select this, and once you do, you'll see over here in the details pane that the information we keyed in was keyed in right here. So it's all ready to go. You can preview the document in accounting and route it where it needs to go. So those are some of the imports. You can also scan a document by using the standard desktop scanning. And then if you have a document selected, that's why you'll have insert pages after or before. So if we deselect that and we do the scanning, then of course now we can upload. And so now it's just asking, yes. And then here you go. This is the ability to scan within Laserfiche. So if you're pulling in any of the documents from a share file, you can start scanning from them. And then this is where you can clean up some of the image processing, for example. So it just gives you more enhanced features that you can preview before uploading the document. So for example, you can do a border removal, color removal, smoothing. You can invert, despeckle, line removal, resize, rotate. So pretty much anything that you like to do. And then you, of course, do a more detailed OCRing. So this is how you would scan in documents, even if you had a scanner, and then it would be able to pick up that native scanner and import it into the repository. And then you have the ability to rename if you wanted to. Now this feature is a good one. This one will be where you can do your direct share and emailing. This isn't the only way that you can do that. You can download the actual file. So clicking download, and then of course it generates a message and then it sends it out in your Outlook. But we're going to use the direct share feature because it's a really nice feature and it's included in the cloud. So we'll select one of these documents to do a direct share. And so once you have the document selected, you do have the ability to kind of select the whole document here. And then with the emails, you can, of course, email by file. So you can email by file, entry paths, or links. If there's anything up here that doesn't belong, like a folder or anything, you can remove that and then just select what you need to send out. So you see, once I select the document that I want to send out, it gives me the ability to send it as a TIFF, BMP, a JPEG, PDF. And so this will send it as a file, and then you can send it directly to somebody. Now, direct share does something completely different. So when you do a direct share, you can actually send to somebody in your organization or outside of your organization the document to preview. What's nice about this feature is that it does have an expiration date, and you can set a password for the document. So you can write a brief message, please review, and then send it out, and it quickly sends that document out. And so once you do that, you come over here to this shared area, and then you'll see information on that shared file. So it'll give you the document name, it'll give you the expiration date, when it was shared, and whether or not the files have been downloaded. And so, say for example, you send something out and you didn't mean to send it out, you can disable the link that's in the email just by selecting this, and they no longer have access to that file. But as long as it stays pending, then of course they can click on the link and it'll download the file. It'll open up in a web browser. And so just to kind of show you what that looks like, this is what the view is when you see that it's been successful, because it'll send you an email that it was a successful. And then this is the email that somebody would receive. And basically you can click here to get files, and then you'll be able to preview the files once you click on that. Now, if it is disabled, which in fact it is right now, then they'll get a message that says that the file is no longer available. And so you'll see that pop up right here. See, it locks them out. So if you had any questions if it actually worked that way, then that's how you can kind of quality check that. You'll get a notification and they'll not be able to get that document. So those are a couple of ways that you can share. You can upload and pretty much add to your repository. So that kind of completes this session. We'll talk to you soon on the next one.